been going to Hope for 18 years, and I was never involved for 17 and a half of them. I would go to church on Sundays, and I would leave before the benediction because I don't want to get stuck in traffic. That was me. I was just holy for an hour and 15 minutes on the Sunday, then I would walk out. Now, I felt the need to talk about this because I'm not the only one dealing with it. There's literally hundreds of men talking about this and dealing with this problem. And it's the P word. It's not biblically like pride or anything like that. It's pornography. I was first kind of introduced to it at the age of 8. We used to watch Mike Tyson fights all the time on HBO pay-per-view. My dad got tired of spending $49.95 for every fight, so he went to the store and bought a cable box so he could watch the fights for free. And we'd watch wrestling together and all these boxing fights together. But channel 53 was an adult channel. I'd wait for them to go to sleep, and then I'd creep downstairs, channel 53. 8 years old, and I would just watch it for like an hour. Funny thing is, I was never caught. So 8 years old, 9 years old, 10, 13, 15, 18, never caught. It progressed. I never really stopped, and it affected my marriage. I was married previously for 12 years. One of the worst times, I thought she was asleep, and grabbed my phone, started looking at some stuff while she's in the bed next to me. I'm looking at another woman, fantasizing about another woman, and she's looking right at me. Pornography is like, it's the worst drug. It's worse than cigarettes, alcohol, any kind of drug. There's so many days I've woken up and was like, you know what? Today's the day. I'm not gonna look at it anymore. And then by 7 o'clock at night, you're looking at it. Nothing's ever enough. You need more. I need to watch some more. And then I turned what I was watching into reality. I was spiraling out of control. One of my last relationships, I ruined it because of pornography. Got kicked out, and my best friend was like, yo, you can come stay with me. This was March the 1st of 2024. I was over his house, laying on an airbed with a hole in it. I'm on the floor in the dark, and I remember the time. It was 10:28. I just hearing a train go by, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. I started praying. I said, Lord, I surrender. It wasn't until I was on that airbed at my rock bottom where I humbled myself and submitted to God. Once you submit, that's when God's like, oh, I can work with you now. You hear about all the time, the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit came into me. That's the biggest transformation I've ever had. Where I said, I will never go back to the way it was. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want any distractions. I want to be better. I'm talking about an unpopular topic that even men don't even talk about in the barbershop. We don't talk about that. But we all, maybe not all, but most of us deal with it. Like, you're not the only one. There's millions and millions of other people. There's men in our group that are dealing with it. You just don't know. But I promise you I'm not the only one. So if I can use my testimony to change someone else's life and tell them that there is hope, you just got to be willing to put the work in. And God knows your heart. And man, he can move mountains in your life.